Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 225 for the 6th of October. And there won't be any information from the 7th of October. So by the time you watch this, there might be new information. So please don't complain in the comments, say, hey, things have changed. No, obviously, this is the SITREP for yesterday. So let's start off with weird statements, and this time this weird statement is very scary. Zelenskyy is calling on NATO to launch nuclear strikes on Russia. So I just read whatever this is. This is actually interfax.com.ua. So this is Ukrainian, though. So this is not pro-Russian propaganda. This is real. So the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy believed that NATO should make it impossible for Russia to use nuclear weapons. He's asking for preemptive strikes are needed. No, he said preemptive strikes are needed, so that they know that what awaits them if you use nuclear weapons. I don't have no idea what the hell they're trying to talk about. And then he's saying that not waiting for Russia's nuclear strike. And they say, and then saying, oh, you've done that, then get this. So he's actually telling this, saying this at a think tank, Australian think tank, the Lowy Institute, through video call. And he asking NATO to reconsider how it uses its pressure. So basically Zelenskyy is asking for World War III. And to be honest, if you are pro-Ukrainian, you should be scared of this. This is not funny, okay? This is not a joke. A president of Ukraine, calling for NATO to launch nuclear strike on Russia. This is literally World War III shit. So I have nothing to say. So, and over at the EU Parliament has passed a resolution calling on European countries to increase military aid to Ukraine. This is not a law. This is just to call on the European countries to increase their military aid. So it only states EU states should, not must, should significantly increase their military assistance. So 500 people voted in favor, only 26 against. So yeah, the world is inching towards nuclear war, and we are still watching this like a football match. So and then over at Poland, as I said, we are walking more and more towards World War III. The Polish president Andrzej Duda said the problem is that we do not have nuclear weapons. There's no indication that in the near future, as Poland, we will have it under our jurisdiction. There is always a potential opportunity to participate in nuclear sharing program, and he has spoken to the American leaders whether United States is open to it. The topic is open. So Poland wants nuclear weapon to be deployed in Poland. So you just look at these three things, these three statements. If you are not scared or afraid, I highly encourage you to start panicking. So moving on to the Southern Front. At the Mykolaiv Front, fighting is reported at Ternovi-Poli. Yesterday we did report about this one already, where there's fighting near Novokhyrovka, where the Ukrainians launched an attack. It was met with Russian artillery, and then the Ukrainian Defense Ministry kind of reported more or less the same thing. They say that there is fighting reported at Ternovi-Poli. And there is also fighting reported at Sniehurivka. So I believe I might have covered this, but if not, and then the Ukrainians attack Sniehurivka. This is actually confirmed from the ground by RV Voenko. This is a pro-Russian Telegram channel. So according to their sources, they can confirm the attack on the VDV, the airborne troops of the Russian military. However, the capture of Sniehurivka is actually not true. So that's all from... Oh, okay. There's also... a confirmation of sorts that Novoselivka is actually under Ukrainian control. Previously, this is not mapped as under Ukrainian control. I can show you the previous map. Previous map is like this, with a tail, or something else. And so because of this information about the Ukrainian forces regrouping around the area of Novoselivka and Kaiserlivka, so they are regrouping around this region. So which actually suggests that Novoselivka is actually under Ukrainian control. And this is actually reflected in Rybus mapping. So we have indicated Novoselivka as under Ukrainian control. So That's all from the Mykolaiv Front. Over at the Kherson Front, the Ukrainians launched 3 different attacks. So these attacks I have reported yesterday. One is near Davidiv Bridge. I might have reported, or I have not. So basically, apparently the Russian lines is actually very, very close to Davidiv Bridge, because they say the battle is near Davidiv Bridge and the landing forces hold position in the forest belt. And we previously also know that the Ukrainians have captured the town. So the Ukrainians are only holding this area and this area. That means the Russians are still holding positions very near to the forest and the town, and fighting is actually near this location. So that's why the front line is kind of different. Previously we map it in this way, so now it's actually here. There is fighting reported near Pyatikaki, which I have reported the day before, yesterday. I reported this yesterday. And so yesterday we reported, I said that maybe, okay, which one should it is it? Okay. Oh, did I delete it? Oh no, this one. So yesterday I reported this, where the Russian Ministry of Defense said that the Ukrainians are try to break through the defense towards Dolyna. And I thought that this is a wrong naming. Maybe they are talking about Mykolaiv. I thought it's not Dolyna. But somehow this is actually corroborated by another source, RV Voyenko, where they said that the information of the capture of Dolyna is actually wrong. They say that after the destruction of this bridge, the Russian forces is actually able to hold the position south of this city, with the fighters from the 126th Coastal Defense Brigade and the VDV, the paratroopers, the airborne troops. So they held the position, and they managed to continue to repel Ukrainian offensive for 3 different days. And reinforcement actually arrived from the Rosvadia to help out with the defending of South Dolyna. And in terms of the fighting, what they did is that they actually used a lot of artillery. So they, according to the same piece of information, they say that they blocked the constant attempt to try to break through, and the accumulation of the Russian forces is so dense that even there's a breakthrough, they will neutralize it, which means that there is actually more than one line of defense now in the area of Dolyna. And he said, and according to the source, they say that he has never seen so many artillery in one place. So the Russian artillery is currently operating from two sides. So one is on this side and the other side of the Dnieper River. So there's actually Russian artillery on the other side of the river helping out with the defending. And there's also the Russian Air Force with Ka-52 attacking Ukrainian armor vehicles. So this is just way too convincing, too much information for me to ignore it. And I have pushed the Russian border, Russian front line all the way up. I still have the Ukrainian front line here. So we have these conflicting claims, which in terms of pro-Russian source Ryber's mapping shows Dolyna as under Ukrainian control. Tentatively, this is going to be disputed until we can have further information to confirm what is exactly the front line now over this area. There's a regrouping of the Ukrainian forces reported near Novokayamka, near to where the main fighting is at Pyatikaki. And that's all from the Kherson Front. If you don't understand what the hell is happening after all this, the Kherson offensive is still ongoing. The Ukrainians are actually regrouping and they are still trying to break through. However, the Russian line, after they built a new line from Davidiv Bridge region, the Kostromka, all the way to Dolyna, this line seems to be holding up better, and there seems to be Russian reinforcement that has come up to the line to help out in the defense. So, which is why the breakthrough has stopped. So anyway, we shall see how this goes. Perhaps this reinforcement might actually signal another round of retreats. Who knows? Moving on to the Zaporizhzhia Line. At the Zaporizhzhia Line, so in case you guys don't know, this is the Southern Front, and this is the Zaporizhzhia Line. At the Zaporizhzhia Line, the Ukrainians has been reportedly attacking Polohi. They actually managed to capture a few positions of the Russian defenders, and then the Russian counterattacked and retook the positions. Reportedly, you can take this with a massive pinch of salt. Ukrainians actually mined the bodies of the Russian dead soldiers, and so this is just something interesting from the ground. And there is also fighting reported near Marne. They say that every day there is around 20 Ukrainian troops have been conducting reconnaissance by combat in the region of Marne. So, and on top of that, there is also reports of heavy usage of UAV by the Ukrainian forces over in the Zaporizhzhia region, particularly in the Mykolaiv Front region here. And they say that they have been trying to look for the rear supply facilities of the Russian forces where the air defenses are, and they are also probing the defenses and conducting reconnaissance including Bayraktar. So Bayraktar TB2, the Turkish-made drone, and the pro-Russian sources are now reporting that the Ukrainians are on the verge of launching a offensive over the Zaporizhzhia. The tension currently at this line is extremely high, and looks like the fighting is going to break out very, very soon. Over at the Donetsk Front, fighting is reported at Pojeda, according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry, and also at Nevelsky. Similarly, most of this information at the Bakhmut Front is actually all coming from the Ukraine Defense Ministry, by the way. And fighting is reported at Kayamka. And on top of that, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry also reported that the Wagner PMC's reinforcement has arrived in the Donetsk region. They didn't particularly say where exactly in Donetsk region. They said that 500 mobilized criminals has arrived to strengthen the Russian army. So, as we all know by now, if you are following my reports, these criminals are actually recruits from the prisons in Russia into the Wagner private military contractors. They are given 6-month contract, and if they can complete this contract and not die, they will be all their criminal record will be I'm not sure it will be wiped free, but they will not need to be in prison anymore. They will be free. So their contract is 6 months, but they also promise that they will have a high chance of dying. So anyway, this is just information of reinforcement on the Russian side. But most likely they will be operating around the Bakhmut Front. And talking about Bakhmut Front, at the Bakhmut Front, fighting continue to be reported at Mayorsk. The Russian forces have captured Odradivka, and they also captured this stronghold at this junction here between Mykolaivka Druha and Odradivka. The forces around this region is now moving towards Kodyumivka, which Kodyumivka is already fighting with the forces previously from Dacha region. So moving on, the Ryba, the pro-Russian source, disputed the claim of the Russian Defense Ministry. So Russian Defense Ministry yesterday reported that they have captured the whole of Zaiseve. However, the Ryba reported that western part of the village is still under Ukrainian control. So fighting is still ongoing, according to Ryba. And there is also I put the wrong icon. Vesela Dolyna is also reportedly captured, according to Ryba, and the forces now is at Vesela Dolyna is now moving towards Ivangrad. So they are getting closer to the real outskirt of Bakhmut as we speak. Off in the southeast of Bakhmut, the Russian forces have captured the Ausfurt plant. The Ausfurt plant is here. They have captured this location, and then they are still fighting in Bakhmut itself. So there is no information over the Soledar region. So that's all from the Bakhmut front. So in case you don't know, this Bakhmut is here. Bakhmut is here. And Bakhmut and Siversk Front, collectively I call them the Eastern Front. And at the Eastern Front, there's fighting reported at Vesela, according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry, and there's fighting reported at Vimka. And the report of fighting over here makes me doubt that the Ukrainians actually still have control over Bilohorivka, and I suspect that this entire area here might actually be all Russian control. So I cannot verify this information just yet. I will keep a lookout. Otherwise, the rest of the Siversk Front is actually pretty quiet. This is wrong color. So this is now we are at the Svatove-Kreminna Front. Actually, this is a very lousy name. I will think of a better name. Anyway, yesterday I've reported this, but because this is actually a new information from yesterday, so it's still relevant. The Russian forces have captured Dibrova, and as per also yesterday they've reported, because yesterday's summary is a bit late, which is why we have information from the 6th. There is a gathering or concentration of forces at Toske, assessed to be preparing for an offensive against Crimea. And further up north, fighting is reported towards at the south of Ploshchanka and on the east side of Makivka. So it doesn't look like a major offensive just yet. And the gathering of forces is only reported at Toske. There's seemingly no other forces being reportedly gathering here except for at Pshostravneve, which was reported the day before. So, but we haven't seen the attack being launched just yet. Maybe they will attack today, and likelihood they will be attacking Raihorodka towards Svatove. Moving on to the Oskil Front now I actually call them the Kupyansk Front, because I actually move away all this unnecessary front line. Previously it was like this. The one behind the rear is actually no longer important, so I actually close it up. And so this, I decided to call this the Kupyansk Front because the forces here is already fighting in the southern part of Oskil. So calling it the Oskil Front might be very confusing. So I'm calling this Kupyansk Front, since Kupyansk is a lot more famous, and Kupyansk sounds like Kuping, like, so Kupyansk, or so the as per yesterday's report, the Ukrainian forces attacked multiple locations. We do not have any new reports about the fighting in the southern part here yet. And based on yesterday's information, they did this attack directly towards Vilshana, and there's this pincer movement towards Vilshana after the first attempt has failed. There is no reports on the conclusion of this battle, and previously we also reported the fighting at Tavyozanka. These are all you see, 12 p.m. sorry, noon information, and this is also noon information. So this is actually information from yesterday. Yeah, so it's not a good thing for me to report too late. So, but sometimes can't be helped. A lot of work to do. So anyway, this is the summary for the day of the 235, 6th of October, and if you are still watching here, I would like to give you a medal of DPA awesomeness, because you are so awesome to be able to watch the whole thing. And thank you for watching. Do share this with your contacts if you find this useful. Please press the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you in the next update.